Welcome back. Today we are in Venice for our next part of our Italy journey. Venice is iconic for being the city built on over 100 small islands on the Adriatic Sea, connected with canals and bridges.
We of course got up super early this morning, woke up at 4 a.m. to get here to the city by 5 a.m. So these streets are completely empty. Right now we are walking to the oldest bridge in the city for the sunrise. We just started to see the sun kind of starting to peek above the buildings, so we're gonna go get over there very quickly.
It's absolutely beautiful here, and I recommend getting up to beat the crowds because just like everywhere else in Europe this summer, the streets are getting completely packed full, so it'll be interesting to see how much it fills up throughout the day with all of the cruise shippers as well. But right now it is so peaceful, so beautiful. So here we go to the oldest out of the 400 bridges here.
We've been walking now for like 10 minutes through all these twisting and winding roads. There's already absolutely no way I could make it back to the train station without Google. Like, all these little alleyways are so narrow and they just like randomly turn. It's really hard to try and get anywhere here, but we're getting closer to the bridge.
So our first stop of the day is Ponte di Rialto. Probably didn't say that right, but this is the oldest bridge in Venice. And Venice is actually about 1600 years old, starting somewhere in the 400s. It was named after the Venetian people who lived here first. It's so pretty and very quiet this morning. So far, we just have ships passing through with the people that have different loads of like vegetables and some sunrise cruises. So they're definitely getting all their transportation done before it gets super busy with gondolas here today. So it's kind of fun to watch the locals do their thing here this morning, which is kind of a special thing you get to do if you get up early. We're going to continue to walk around. We're going to be looking for some coffee. We're going to be checking out a lot of bridges, the most popular square here, but this is definitely a good place to start your day when you have one day in Venice. So now we are standing on top of the oldest bridge, which was built in 1588. It gives such a good view of the Grand Canal, which is behind me. So this is the main canal where all the ships go through. So it's a great spot just to come up here, watch the boats, and watch the city of Venice wake up for the day.
Next up, we are going to head over to St. Mark's Square, St. Mark's Basilica, and the Bridge of Sighs. They're all very close to each other, which makes it very convenient on a walking tour to just head over to that direction and go visit all three. So the reason St. Mark's Basilica is here in Venice is because actually back in like the 8th century or the 9th century, they brought St. Mark's body here to Venice from Alexandria. So this is where St. Mark's body is, and that is why there is the church here today.
So behind me is the most famous bridge in Venice, which is the Bridge of Sighs. So it was constructed in the early 17th century. It's made out of limestone, and the reason it's called the Bridge of Sighs is because it connects the palace courtroom to the jail over here. And prisoners, once they got their sentence to jail, would have to cross over this bridge to get to the jail, and the little peepholes through the bridge was their last look at Venice before their imprisonment. So it does have a dark history. However, the myth goes that if a couple kisses under the bridge on a gondola ride, they will be in love forever. So a little redemptive story of the Bridge of Sighs and what it's known for today. So yes, most famous bridge out of all 400 in Venice, and it's located right next to the main square where St. Mark's Church is. This is also located right on the main harbor, which is lined up with ships, lined up with gondolas, and you can see the rest of Venice as well across the canal.
So we're back in St. Mark's Square trying to find some coffee because like we said before, we were just really dying for some coffee. But I had done a little bit more reading about St. Mark and his body being brought here. And apparently it wasn't like so simple as just being brought here. Apparently two Venetian merchants went to Alexandria and they pretty much just stole the body from Alexandria and brought it here to the church. And since the city of Venice was such an important spot for the Crusades, the Fourth Crusade also actually left from Venice, and that is the crusade that ransacked Constantinople. And so there are also a lot of artifacts from Constantinople that were, stolen from there as it was being ransacked and brought here to the square and to the city itself. So a lot of history, and just like everywhere else in the world, a lot of things being moved around from culture to culture.
So next we needed our first coffee for the day, which it's getting a little late, so we need to quick down these before we get our caffeine withdrawal headaches. But we found a cute little cafe right off the square that's serving Americanos, and then of course a chocolate croissant, our absolute favorites. We've been consuming too many of these, but how can you not when it's this fluffy? It's full of chocolate inside too. Oh my gosh, this is why we love Europe. So flaky, so delicious.
So after our coffees, we've just kind of been walking around looking at a lot of the different palaces here in Venice. So Venice was like a huge maritime kingdom. They had so much trading going on, which led to a lot of money and a lot of prosperous people right here in Venice. So there's so many different palaces to check out. We just got done looking at one that was really cool. It has a spiral staircase. That's what makes it super unique, very picturesque here in Venice. But now we're gonna go find a gondolier to give us a gondola ride.
We just swiped down a gondola. We're gonna see how much it costs. Hi. How much?
Depende, normal tickets cost 80 euro.
Okay. We just waved down a gondola and we're gonna hop inside for a 30-minute ride. We are now on a gondola, which is the top thing I wanted to do while we are here. We're gonna go around for about half an hour to 40 minutes and see Venice now by canal, which is of course how people for centuries got around. Right now we are under a bridge.
How happy are you?
I'm so happy. This is one of my top bucket list moments right here. It's one of those surreal moments where you're like, is this even real right now? I don't know. Someone pinch me.
So I read that the gondoliers can make upwards of 150,000 euros per year. So I'm like, you want to move to Venice and I'll be a gondolier for that much. That'd be pretty fun.
So the reason that they wear the stripy shirts is because that's what sailors originally wore, so that it was easier to spot them in the water if they fell in. Hopefully we don't see anyone fall in today, but it's a tradition that has been carried on, and it's a very easy way to spot someone who is an official gondolier to pay for their services.
So we are now on the Grand Canal and we're coming full circle because right over there is the bridge that we started at this morning, and it was completely clear. There was no one on the bridge when we were there this morning, and now there's a solid 100 people up there. So glad we were able to check that out before everyone else got out here. So we just got done standing in line for this restaurant. We got here a little bit early because we knew there was 2 balcony seats and we got one of the 2. Very thankful that we did just stand in line, and we now get to sit right here on a canal as we eat our lunch. I got some spaghetti and meatballs, and they brought it out with Parmesan, so I'm definitely gonna add a lot of that. I'm a big cheese guy. And I'm excited to dig into this pasta. This is like classic spaghetti and meatball. Time to see how much better it is here in Italy. Red tomato sauce and a completely white shirt. What could go wrong, am I right?
So I got some pesto ravioli along with some white wine, and this looks amazing. There's arugula on top as well, and we have the best view, I think, in the whole city, watching the gondolas and the different boats go by. Super magical, but time for some pesto ravioli. How good does this look? That pesto is delicious. Like, probably my favorite thing I've had yet in Italy. So good.
So we just got done eating our lunch on the canal, and honestly, it was probably one of my favorite meals since getting here to Italy. There was nothing better than just sitting peacefully along the canal, eating some delicious pasta.
Unfortunately, we only have one day in Venice, but we definitely got to see everything that we wanted to. It was absolutely beautiful. All the architecture, the palaces, the beautiful canals and waterways. Truly incredible architecture here in Venice, and it was really special to see. But tomorrow we are getting up and we are going to a new city, which is Milan, as we continue north through Italy. We hope you enjoyed this day in Venice. Thank you so much for watching. It means so much to us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.